Hello again, YouTubers. I'm just having a look at my findings for today. I've been to central Stockholm and spent some money, not that much, but I did find some nice stuff. You know, my channel name is 78 RPM blog. Started this channel mainly to show and play 78 RPM records from my collection, but I have widened the theme of the channel since I joined the vinyl community. I think the first non-78 RPM video I did was showing all my Elvis albums in a very quick way there. But the first record I'm going to show you is actually a 78 RPM record, although it's a very special issue, and it's a new issue, and I'm sure many of you have seen this already. I've even seen this on YouTube already, and I thought, well, what a cool issue. If I ever found that, I may be able to buy it if it's not too expensive. And it wasn't. It's the Beach Boys. Good Vibrations, Heroes and Villains, monophonic on 78 RPM, 10-inch, and it's actually two 78 RPMs in this, because there's another issue with an early take of Good Vibrations and Heroes and Villains. So that's cool, very cool. Very happy to find this, and these are numbered. Not sure about how many issues there were, but this is number 818. I have to play this on my dear trusty old Lenko up here, because I won't be able to play 78 RPMs on any other record player right now. Well, yeah, maybe my Ducks, but no, I wouldn't play this on that one. No. So I have to be able to listen to this. I have to change the needle to use normal needle for micro groove records and listen to this. Actually, I have some other vinyl 78 RPMs, and I'm amazed about the sound. When it spins so fast as 78 RPM, you can really fit a lot of sound into the grooves. So maybe it's a pity that I stopped making them. Anyway, very nice looking cover too. Blue and gold. Okay. That's one new album, and then over to another new album, although the recordings are old. And this is the one that Jonas, Sublime Media, has showed earlier, live. He showed this. I didn't know that it had been reissued. This was originally issued on Columbia, EMI Columbia, back in the early 70s, 1971, I think. And it's extremely rare. And it's very sought after, the original, and the times the original issue is sold, it becomes very very expensive. So I'm very happy that they have reissued this. It wasn't for free. It's a bit pricey, but I think it's worth it. So I will listen to this later, live. Good Swedish prog. Then over to some second-hand albums. First we have a group called Trastelindens Quintet. That sounds like a Swedish dance band, but they weren't. They were more of a folk, pop, punk-ish group. Acoustic. Played everything acoustic. They didn't even have a microphone for the singer when they were on tour. The singer sang through a like the kind of horn that they used in the 1920s before the microphone. This is their first album. They made approximately 5 or 6 albums. The first 4 were issued on vinyl. This is the first one from 1987. I've had recordings before on the CD where there was a CD of their first 2 albums. I listen quite a lot to Classical Indians Quintet in the early days, but then of course it was on CD. So, but I was happy to find this. Very happy. Okay, and over to my first Jukka Tuulonen. I've been thinking, why don't I have any records with Jukka Tuulonen? Because I like his guitar playing. He's a great musician, great music. But then I found this today. It's an album called Cross Section, and it's issued on the. It's an American issue on the Janus label. You know this. Oh, right now. This one. I don't know if it was recorded for the Janus label or if it just. Oh, it says Sonnet. Produced by Sam Charles of Sonnet Productions. Well, it was probably issued on Sonnet, the original issue. Well, those of you who know your Tuulonen records can probably correct me on this, but it's an American issue. That makes it even more interesting. Right. Then I thought for a while, I really need to get started to get hold of the records of the singer and songwriter Mikael Ramel, because I'm a great fan of his father, and I'm a great fan of him too. He's a very famous father, the legendary Povel Ramel that I've talked about many times, and I'm a member, fairly active member of his appreciation society. But his son has done lots of good records too, good singer and songwriter. But I only had one compilation CD with him, and that's a bit poor actually. I should be ashamed of myself. But now I found one of his albums, one from the 80s, although his 70s albums are more interesting really. But this is one from the 80s, from 1986. And we even have a duet here with his father, which is quite fun. En för alla, Mikael Ramel. Okay, the last record that I'm going to show, I have it on CD, but I've gone to this on the original LP for a long time, and now I've found it. Philip Glass, Koyani Skatsi, from 1983 on Island Records. Great movie and great music. If you haven't heard this album, you should. It's minimalistic, it's hypnotic. It's almost a bit druggy. I should have shown this in the previous video showing drug records. No, it's not druggy, but you get. It's like you're being moved into some different state of being when you listen to it. It's very hypnotic, and I like it a lot. Especially the choir piece "Vessels," which is brilliant, brilliant. Koyani Skatsi, Philip Glass. Right. That's all for now, and now I'm going to take a break, have a cup of coffee, and start assembling my new turntable.